Alright, got a new bike here at MJD Cycles. Got the 2024 Honda Goldwing DCT Tour. Went with the DCT, no clutch, no gear shifting. Yes, it's awesome. I don't miss the clutch at all. I don't miss shifting gears at all. The first few times I rode it, I did try to grab the clutch, trying to stop a few times, but you quickly get over that. It's very predictable on the shifting, and then if for some reason, even when you're in auto mode, you can downshift or upshift with the paddle shifting. I actually do a little, kind of like where you would roll off the throttle to downshift. You can do the same thing, just let off the throttle just a little bit and click downshift, and it's real smooth. If you're under power hard on the throttle and you downshift, you do feel it a little more. Just did a 3,000 mile trip across Oklahoma, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota. We went up to Sturgis, back down through Nebraska, Kansas, back to Oklahoma. Lots of twisty roads, lots of going up sides of mountains, downhill, and the DCT did great. I actually kept it in tour mode most of the time and would just downshift when needed. Sport mode was awesome, obviously. It holds the gears a little longer, more throttle response. So since it's in neutral and it's leaned back, there's an angle to my driveway, you do have the parking brake, which when the bike's off, since it's an automatic, it is in neutral, so you set the parking brake. A few of the accessories I've got the Zero 3D adjustable foot pegs, the floorboard on both sides, did the Zero 3D passenger armrests. I do have a cup that goes in that, just like the front cup there. Got the Zero 3D rear brake cover as well. These work great. The only thing I wish I'd have known is you can find this stuff on AliExpress for like 1/3 of the price. It may not be branded, but it's the same thing. So for instance, the Goldwing branded trunk thing here was like 20 bucks from AliExpress. I did do the wing stuff, mats. I have the saddlebags as well, before realizing you can get it direct from AliExpress for much cheaper. But the wing stuff pads are great though. As far as other accessories, Panical makes a replacement here. So both sides of this thing is metal. So there's one you can get on Amazon that's just the front side, and I tried that and I honestly didn't like it too much. So I got this from Panical. This is super well made. It's metal on both sides. It has the electronics wire catch underneath, which is right there, and it squeezes it together and holds it. It's 2 bolts through the back with obviously the cup arm, and then a ball mount that has the bolt going through it. I did have to scuff this ball up a little bit when I put the cup on. It tended, to move around with a heavy cup that I have, but scuff up the ball a little bit, tighten her down, she's good to go. And this ball mount works great. I have a RAM mount with my 3D camera Insta360 that I rode all across the 3,000 mile trip, and it held great, no issues, never got loose, super stable. Has been a great addition, and I got that off AliExpress from Panical. I think it was around $40. And then I did a quad lock on this other side for the phone mount. Obviously the phone can go down in here. It does get hot. I had tried a wireless CarPlay adapter for a while and it worked, but on long trips it did get hot and the wireless CarPlay adapter was cutting out due to heat. So I read online, several guys on forums, where they were able to take a USB and fish it through this second grommet, and you push it down in there, you take your seat off, and it will poke out down in here. Once you've got it coming out by the seat here, you take a real long zip tie I got from Harbor Freight for like a couple bucks, a pack of like, I don't know, 10 of them, but they're like 2 or 3 feet long, and you just feed it down in through here, comes out here, you attach the USB to it and slide it back out, and then I've got it routed, hopefully you can see it, it routes down, comes down here, it's going back through to there, right? So now I've got charging and Apple CarPlay on my handlebars. So I use the quad lock, snaps in, wait till everything comes on, boop, connect it, Apple CarPlay. It is a little finicky, most owners know this. You gotta have your headset connected to the bike, then connect the phone, and if it doesn't work, I just unplug it, plug it back in. But it has worked great. Apple CarPlay works great. Being able to control the functions from the controllers here work just fine. Again, we just did a large trip and I used a mix of the Honda navigation and Apple CarPlay, Google Maps. On Rever, if you use Rever as a route planning app, you can export from Rever now for the newer Goldwings. So you export the GPX. Here's the thumb drive I was using. I just detach the USB, put this in, you load the external, import the external GPX file, and it loads in your navigation and you're good to go. The only thing we did learn was make sure your waypoints are on road and on the path that you're taking, because if you pass a waypoint, it keeps trying to route you back to that waypoint. Then you got to go into your menu and work through deleting that waypoint so you can get back on track, so that it's not trying to reroute you back to the missed waypoint. Overall, loving the bike. I do ride 2-up quite a bit. Me and my wife just did a 335-mile trip from Oklahoma through Arkansas yesterday. Rode for about 7 hours. Was a little over an 8-hour trip with stops and lunch. And she enjoys it. I had an 07 Goldwing, and it had the giant, you know, F4 Customs +4 windscreen that was just like a giant sail, so you didn't get any wind. I've actually enjoyed this a lot more due to the control of raising and lowering it, along with it's a little narrower and I get a little more air on me when it's hot. I couldn't ride the old Goldwing when it was hot out just because I couldn't get cooled off, even with the vent in the middle of the windshield. So extremely happy with the purchase, loving the DCT. It handles really, really well, plenty of power. For the automatic, you can do your downshift, upshift with the little paddle shifts if needed. It responds instantly. Just really enjoy it. I'm enjoying the comfort. I like to ride. I ride to relax, and this is definitely the way to go. Radio on it is plenty. Playing Apple Music through CarPlay works fantastic at, you know, 80 miles an hour with the helmet on. Can hear it just fine. The only other tip, like I said, look on AliExpress for your accessories before you pay full price. I probably could have saved quite a bit of money just buying it all through AliExpress, but I didn't realize that until after the fact. But she runs great. The trip went great. Heated grips, heated seat. We got up into the mountains, it's 40 degrees. Kick them on full blast and then back off. I'd have to back off to about mid-range to 3, and that was comfortable. Gets plenty hot. The screen, the display, managing CarPlay and navigation and going between there is great. Getting CarPlay going sometimes is a little finicky, but it will come on. It's a fantastic bike. I got a good deal on it locally. I actually didn't have to travel to get a good deal. My local dealer was willing to work with me. Shout out to Tulsa Power Sports. The bike has been fantastic. My wife really likes it. She's had no complaints. We ride 80, 85 on the highway. She's not complaining about buffeting. She's good to go. 2024 Goldwing DCT